6 o'clock on the nose. The town of Diamond Valley would like to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 region, southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Siksika, Kainai and Kainai First Nations, the Stone Native Dakota Bearspaw, Chiniki and Wesley First Nations, the Deniyaksina First Nations, and all of those people that make Region 3, including the Métis Region 3, Treaty 7 lands their home. We have an exit over here and an exit back there, and 2 bathrooms in the back on the left-hand side. That window there will be the ultimate exit in event of an explosive event. I would just jump out there. Feel free. I can catch you afterward. All right. We have a consent agenda. Can I get a motion for that? Is there anything anyone would like moved over?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Here we
I'd
go.
like to move the special meeting public hearing minutes of March the 14th to the regular meeting agenda 7.3 as amended.
May 14th.
May 14th,
The 6 o'clock ones, please.
the 6 o'clock one, the special
The 6 o'clock.
public hearing.
You're gonna move that over to the regular
Yes, please.
under action item?
No, 7.3.
Yeah. Put your-
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll take that motion from you, Councillor Thompson.
That we adopt the consent agenda as amended.
Thank you. All in favor? Perfection. And can I get regular, agenda, please? I know that too. Thank you. Councillor Kelly, all in favor? Go. Question period is 15-minute section of time. Each council meeting for the public to ask questions of council or administration for clarity or general inquiry, text, email, phone. Have we received anything by email from the public?
No.
Thank you, councillors. Any questions you've received that you want to verbalize? Seeing none, we will close question period. Thank you. Statutory hearings, we have bylaw 2025-110 and 2025-111 to remove election sign regulations from both land use bylaws. All right. I hereby declare the public hearing. Correct, Vernon? We're good? Yep.
You bet.
Public hearing for bylaws 2025-110 to amend land use bylaw 21-1114 Turner Valley and 2025-111 to amend land use bylaw 2021-06 BD open at 6:03. 6:03. Public hearings are held pursuant to section 216.4 of the Municipal Government Act to hear representations from the public on proposed bylaws. I am Barry Crane and I will chair this public hearing. All discussions on questions, whether by council members or administrators or speakers, must be directed through myself as chair. This hearing will be carried out in an orderly fashion. Please respect the views of everyone here and allow each person their time to speak without interruption. Each person wishing to speak will have 5 minutes to do so. To make a presentation to council. Following any presentations, council may ask questions. Council will not debate this matter during the hearing. The decisions regarding whether to grant bylaw for the readings will be dealt with later on in the agenda or at a subsequent meeting if deemed necessary. CEO Mr. Davey, can you confirm that we have officially given the proper notifications for the public hearing in accordance with the Municipal Government Act?
Confirmed, your worship.
Thank you. Ms. Staples. Would you like to present the staff report explaining the purpose of the bylaw amendments?
I can do that. Ms. Florzone is also online. If we want her or have questions that are beyond my scope of planning.
Sure.
So we've presented these 2 bylaws to council for first reading earlier and done the advertising. So the goal here was to remove all regulatory frameworks specifically for election signage, not for any other signage in both of the land use bylaws, so that we could proceed with a different form of regulation of bylaws for elections. So they both basically are the same amendment. They were slightly different wording in each bylaw, very similar but slightly different. So the process for amending both to remove is basically the same.
Yes, sir. All right, council, any questions for Ms. Davis? Heather?
We're rolling this into one bylaw, correct? You said two bylaws,
So there's two land use bylaw amendments in front of you at this hearing
but it's rolling into one.
into one
Yeah.
non-land use bylaw, yes.
That's what we.
So I thought that was what it was, because I'm looking at this and I'm going, well, yeah. Because it says bylaw draft
Yeah, the-
2025, 110 and 111.
Yeah, because the hearing is to remove from both LUBs.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, council, any questions? Seeing none. Mr. Davy, has the town received any written submissions that are not included in the staff?
We have not.
Excellent. Is there any person wishing to address council? Please come sit up at the front here, swing the little arm, push the button to red, state your name and address, and please indicate if you are speaking against or in favor of the motion. If you're speaking for a group of people or organization, now is that time to come up public. And by public, I mean the one person in the audience. And if you're saying no, then that's fantastic. We'll continue to move forward. Administration, has anyone registered to speak either online or in person or in favor or against this?
They have not.
Okay, excellent. I'll ask again, is there anyone in the audience who would wish to speak for or against this bylaw amendment to the election signs, which is bylaw 2025 110? Administration, has anyone? Nope. Already done. All right. Going once, last chance. For or against? Administration, confirm everyone has been given an opportunity to speak for or against.
Confirmed.
Thank you. That being said, council, any questions for clarity on any of the new information? Good. All right. Is council satisfied they have all the information required to make a decision?
Yes.
Right? Then I would like to thank all those who spoke or provided submissions, that being Verna, for their comments. Council will take all that information, Verna, into consideration when deciding on this matter. And now declare the public hearing for bylaw 2025-110 and bylaw 2025-111 closed at 6:08.
That's the public hearing.
That's pretty good. That's a record.
That's a record.
6:03 to 6:08. All right, good stuff. Moving on. We're gonna go stars right now. Delegations, Jackie, you wanna have a seat right there in the middle and just swing that little microphone, you can hit the red button. That's for the people at home, so they should hear.
Sorry, Mayor Crane,
Yes.
that microphone is out of order.
Oh, in that case, use your theater voice.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Okay, excellent. Well, very nice to come back to council again this year. In STAR's 40th year of providing the highest level of critical care. So our anniversary is on December 1st. Sadly, our founder, Dr. Powell, passed away a few weeks ago. So that's left a big hole in the STAR's, hole in the heart of our STAR's family. But you know, we're very thankful for the legacy he has created, so we can all benefit should we need it. The highest level of critical care available. Next slide, please. So just a recap on the funding, we did secure another 10-year service agreement with our largest donor, Alberta Health Services. And that is at the 15 million per year in block funding. After that, we still must fundraise 56% of our operating budget. This is all Alberta. And so that works out to around 19 million. The Stars Lottery continues to be our largest fundraiser, bringing in around 11.4 million, which covers the cost of one base in Alberta. After that, business, corporate, individual donations, and also community-driven events like the golf tournament mentioned, and the municipal initiative, which makes up about 2.3 million of it. So thank you for that sustainability that you provide for Stars. Next slide, please. So this is our an updated version of our map of the different levels of support from municipalities across Alberta and Northeast BC. With adding me to the municipal program in Southern Alberta, we've added a number of new towns and villages. I'm trying to think more locally close to you guys, town of Port McLeod, a number of villages within Vulcan County. We've had town of Tabor and MD of Tabor join. Actually, we'll see on an updated map next year that we have a full regional partnership now within the MD of Tabor with towns and villages all supporting. County of Warner joined the municipal initiative this year again too, so that's great. And so, yeah, the first level of gray is under $2 per capita. And then our regional leaders are that sea of blue that's $2 per capita and up. So that includes Diamond Valley as a regional leader. The blue areas are our municipal leaders that have contributed at much higher rate. So 9 provincial leaders. And so they've been honored with logo recognition on our helicopter when they reach $500,000 in cumulative giving. And so in some cases, they have their logo on multiple assets. Full regional partnerships are shown in the red, which we'll have a few more to add next year. And then a couple non-supporting, but overall over 95% of Alberta rural municipalities supporting. So we're very thankful for that. It's very much a united effort for this essential service. Next slide, please. So in recognition of STAR's 40th anniversary, we wanted to provide you with a longer history, a greater history of the missions within the area. So as you can see, there's a lot of data there. And so 765 missions flown since 2010 within Foothills County. And then, of course, you can see the hospital interfacility transfers, where, once the patient has been brought in by ground ambulance or has been at the hospital and deemed critical, STARS is called. And then a number of scene calls that your fire departments within the area have helped with the safe landing of the helicopters. So we appreciate that as well. A very busy area. So on average, 51 missions per year over that 15-year period. So it's a fairly high mission volume area. Next slide, please. Okay, and then the postal code project speaks directly to residents that have a postal code within the Foothills County area. So this is where it differs from the previous slide. The previous slide included anybody who is passing through your area, whether you live here or not, or from a neighboring municipality passing through for work, or being, because it's such a beautiful area, tourists could fall under the previous now. So then this one speaks directly to the residents within the area. And of course, this shows Turner Valley and Black Diamond, prior numbers before you amalgamated, being 82 residents flown since 2010. So speaking for all of Foothills County, 407 total area residents flown, 82 from Diamond Valley, 113 picked up in Diamond Valley, and 294 flown from 43 other locations across all 4 provinces. So that's testament to the value of the partnership we have here together. Is not only are the residents provided highest level of critical care within your boundaries, but across Western Canada, wherever they may travel. Next slide, please. So this is just gives a few examples of the different types of missions that STARS flies for. So this is a day in the life of STARS at the Emergency Link Center in Calgary. Normally we average 11 missions per day. On this particular day, there were over 18 different types of missions. So, we do share our assets across all bases, and our air medical crew are cross-trained. In this, I'll just go over a couple of the missions there. Mission number 3 was where a NICU patient, a critically ill newborn, we flew the NICU team out to where the newborn was, provided critical care on site, and then our crew, or that crew, went by ground with the newborn. So, STARS is available on all modes of transport, which is some great examples here. Mission number 5 was a rollover accident near Edmonton. And after the Emergency Link Center received more information, it was not medically required, so that particular mission was canceled. Mission number 7 was a workshop explosion. And in this case, the helicopter was not the best mode of transport, so alternate transport was arranged for that patient. Mission number 10 was a motor vehicle collision. And this is where the patient was taken by ground by STARS, because in some cases, if the patient can't fly, whether they're a bariatric patient or respiratory issues or, severely burned and can't be strapped in, then alternate transportation is organized. And in this case, the STARS air medical crew went with that patient.
In the ambulance.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
because they're far more elitist than your regular first responder.
Yeah, and that way they still were provided critical care.
Yeah.
And a lot of our medical equipment on board is portable as well, so some of that went with the patient.
Wow, very cool.
Mhm. So that there is a day in the life of STARS and the many different things that come across the Emergency Link Center. Next slide, please. STARS is an innovator from our night vision goggle capability for over 20 years now, and then adding universal blood over 10 years ago. The universal blood actually increased to 4 units of blood in 2019. And now we bolstered our air medical crew toolkit with adding a new medication for hemorrhage control. So this blood product will actually help the blood to clot and slow down bleeding. So if the air medical crew knows that the patient will need more than 2 units of blood, they can administer this blood product to give that patient the life-saving time that they need. Next slide, please. Our longest mission ever, I'll just give a quick overview of that. And so basically, this was fall 2022. Doug McTavish and his buddy were decided to go on a fishing and hunting trip. So basically, they drove up to the river, unloaded their boat, went 5 hours upstream, got off the boat, hiked up into the mountain, and by this time, Doug realized he was having a full-blown heart attack. It would soon be dark, but they had in-reach radio, so they contacted their emergency contact. And it was too late for search and rescue to go out because they didn't have the night vision goggle capability. So after they called the Emergency Link Center, some logistical arrangements were made and they dispatched STARS from the Grand Prairie base. From there, they went to Fort Nelson to refuel. We have a number of fuel caches over provinces, over 59 fuel caches across Western Canada. So they refueled in Fort Nelson and then went to Tea House where the patient was. Well, at this point, they managed to find an opening along the well-treed area, as you can imagine. And the helicopter landed on the side of the riverbank with the tail end hanging over the river. And at that point, all 4 crew members put packs on their back and Porch River went up to where Doug was and assessed him. So he was still hanging in there, doing okay. So they, packaged him up and brought him down the mountain and into the helicopter. Then their journey had to begin back to Grand Prairie. So they went to Watson Lake for more fuel, then to Fort Nelson and back to Grand Prairie. And because our air medical crew goes on all modes of transport, they went with Doug by Alberta Health Services fixed wing to Edmonton. So Doug is around and his story, his VIP video is on the STARS website if you want to check it out. He's doing well. So in total, 2,408 liters of fuel burned, 1,763 kilometers flown, 8.2 hours of flight time, and 5.3 hours with the patient, 1 life saved. So it really goes to show that it's never too far for our next patient. In this particular case, there were not the resources available up there, so that became our longest mission. It's equal distance of going from Calgary to San Francisco.
In a helicopter.
Yeah, in a helicopter. which is why we needed the extra fuel.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So next slide, please. So I want to thank the town of Diamond Valley again for your support and I just wanted to confirm, like, if we're at $3 per capita on a standing motion that extends beyond your council term or how that works for you guys. Just wanted to confirm that today. And so in addition to the, scene calls, the number of scene calls that you saw and the interfacility transfers, we do provide virtual care to the hospital as well, to the medical professionals, and to provide medical and procedural guidance if they need it. So it's very much a, well wrapped around series of critical care to the residents. So a life is saved every day, and your continued partnership makes it possible. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. That was concise, exactly like I wanted. Questions for Jackie? Anyone? Hazel?
I'm just gonna go to them. What did we give last year? I thought it was $2 per capita.
No, it's three.
No,
Three.
I believe it's 3 your worship, so if you want to include in the 26 budget, I just recommend a motion.
In regards to the standing, I would want that. I would want that standing. I'm pretty sure it was. And then, because we said we'll leave it as 3.
Can't commit to
And-
criticism.
Well, we said a future council can always reduce it right here after a presentation.
So
So
it is a standing motion, but does it carry on to the next council?
she has a good.
As much as we love it to,
Yeah.
we have to do what Adam said and make the motion.
Yeah, so we'll make a motion. Yep. Do it.
Make that motion that it's included at $3 per capita for 2026 budget, please.
Thank you. All in favor?
Yes, sir.
That's scary. Yeah, so I guess you're coming back every year. Just,
Thank you
keep
very
putting up
much.
the same little $3 per capita and keep giving a cool story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is a amazing effort for humanity, I would say.
And we just.
So many lives saved.
Stars out.
Yeah, so many people. So it's fantastic. So keep it up. And quite the operation budget at 19 million. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I will leave you a couple
Oh.
of calendars, and this is the anniversary edition, so.
Very nice.
$5.
Now of many different
It's a-
stories. And a timeline kind of the history of Star Citizen as well, so one for you guys here and one for the fire department. It's very good to see you again. Keep up the great work. The town looks great.
Well, we have 2 fire departments, why don't we just give them both to them?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. That work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. All right, motion is completed. Bylaw 2025-110 and 2025-111 to deregulate election signs in the LUDs. Can I get a motion?
Council good bylaw 2025 dash 110 to amend TV bylaw 21-1114 by removing regulation of election signs, second reading.
Thank you. Any questions? Hazel?
I just have the one, and it's regards to that Bill 54. So, can I get clarification on whether passing this bylaws would place council in non-compliance with the Elections Act?
It will not.
It will not.
Ask me that question again when you get to the next set of bylaws.
Okay, then I will ask you that then.
These ones are fine.
These ones are okay?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right, sounds good. Any other questions? We have a motion, all in favor? Thank you. Yes, please.
The council give bylaw 2025-110 to amend TV bylaw 21-1114 by removing the regulation of election signs at 3rd and final reading. No further questions.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried. The next one, yep.
That council give bylaw 2025-111 to amend by
Black Diamond bylaw 2021-6 by removing the regulation of election sign and second reading.
Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? And Hazel?
That council give bylaw 2025-111 to amend the Black Diamond bylaw 2021-06 by removing the regulation of election signs, third and final reading.
Thank you. Anybody? Comments, nothing, good, all in favor? That's carried. That's taken care of. 6.2, bylaw 2025-112, election sign bylaw. Verna, take it away.
So I will try to address Councillor Martin's question within this. So the council saw where we were headed with this at the committee of the whole. We had a conversation about how to best manage election signage. And council directed us to bring back a bylaw to do this. So we drafted one. You gave it first reading along with the other two land use amendments. And then following that, while we were in the notification period, the provincial government tabled Bill 54, which does have, I'm going to pop it up here on the screen because it's a little easier to read. This section amends the Elections Act of Alberta that says we must not pass a bylaw or resolution respecting election signs or election advertisements, but it's very unclear to me anyway, whether they mean just for provincial elections because of which act it's in, or does it mean all elections? And then earlier this year in Bill 20, they passed that bill, gave them the authority to rescind any of our bylaws, which leaves me wondering, where do we go from here? So the answer to your question, Councillor Martin, are we in non-compliance if we pass this bylaw is I don't know.
Okay. Until we hear back from the.
Just lean on the, yeah, it's provincial. Let's just lean on that.
Oh, we can.
MBA can be so vague sometimes.
Cindy? Then John.
Does it have to be passed by bylaw? Or can you make it a policy and just hope everyone follows it?
You can't enforce the policy.
No.
No. And no, you can't even pass a resolution. So authorizing the policy would be a resolution.
Oh, right, yeah, resolution.
I like your advice there in the second bullet on just above rationale. Where we amend this bylaw to remove reference to provincial elections. And we just make it very clear that it's municipal election. And make it very tight.
Yeah, I mean,
That way we're not open to interpretation. I mean, it's municipal elections, so
we are, as long as that is their
Well,
interpretation of putting.
they're
it
the
in
ones
that.
that are they're ambiguous
Yeah.
there, right? So
Yes,
I'm never a fan of ambiguity myself, so
Right,
No.
I would make that motion that council amends bylaw 2025-112 to remove all references to provincial elections.
Any comments? All in favor?
Give you a second.
Please do.
That bylaw that council give bylaw 2025-112 election signs bylaw, second reading. As amended.
Gil, any comments? All in favor? I'll give the council give bylaw 2025-112 election signs bylaw.
No, it's already amended, so just there.
Oh, right, sorry.
No, don't we have to ask to hear it?
No.
No, because we already gave public hearing.
Oh, so we did, sorry. Yep, third and final reading. All in favor? That's scary.
thank you, Council.
Yeah, right on, John. I was taking the first one there as a first. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Verna, for that. Okay, 7.1 Seniors Week. Can I get a motion to have proclamation for Seniors Week and I'll give that. Actually, the council agreed to proclaim June 2nd to 8th, 2025 as Seniors Week in Diamond Valley. All in favor? Jonathan, would you be so kind?
Seniors Week proclamation. You want me to read that?
You betcha.
All right. Seniors Week is a time to recognize and celebrate the many contributions seniors make to our families, communities, and province. It's an important opportunity to show our appreciation for their wisdom, experience, and the vital role they play in building strong, resilient communities. Our seniors provide an invaluable foundation for our community. We recognize that seniors have great capacity for using their lived experiences and acquired wisdom to guide and support others in many valuable ways. The seniors of Diamond Valley are impressively engaged, active, and resourceful, and we are grateful to them for sharing their time and their talents. We appreciate their efforts to build strong, caring communities and sincerely thank our seniors for all they do and who they are. In honor of the seniors of this community, I, Jonathan Gordon, on behalf of the Turner Valley Council, do hereby declare June 2nd through 8th, 2025 to be Seniors Week in the town of Diamond Valley.
Excellent. Town of Diamond Valley.
Did I say Turner?
You did. John, Brendan goes.
Diamond Valley. I am sorry. Let me amend that on behalf of the council. I'm Diamond Valley. My goodness.
Well done. Excellent. Thank you. And can I get one for 2025 National Public Works Week?
Need a motion.
Thank you.
The council proclaim the week of May 18th through the 24th, 2025 as the National Public Works Week in the town of Diamond Valley.
Excellent. And Councillor Kelly, could you read that for us, please?
Absolutely. National Public Works Week, May 18th to the 24th, 2025. People, Purpose, Presence, Provincial Territorial Proclamation. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Diamond Valley. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest of these citizens, civic leaders, and children in Diamond Valley to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the Alberta chapter of American Public Works Association. Be it now resolved, I, Brendan Kelly, Councillor of the town of Diamond Valley, do hereby designate the week of May 18th to the 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with respectives of the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, and government agencies and activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. I don't think I have to read that last part. So Barry's gonna sign it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well done, gentlemen. 7-3 minutes. Heather, over to you.
This was a catch that our staff made. So there was a couple amendments made to those minutes, so that's the reason to move them into the regular agenda to adopt them as per request of our wonderful legislative services, Colonel Staples.
And did we want to just show those, or do you have those?
I can do that for you.
Yeah, let's just identify them on the big screen and then we'll take them.
So there wasn't anything that, not that we found in the meat and potatoes of the minutes, because that was the big public hearing we had last week. But we did have an error in the location. Not there. All right, it doesn't like that. So we corrected that because that meeting was held in the Flare and Derrick. And we missed adding a recess into the meeting.
At 10 o'clock.
Yes. Yes. There's a recess that belongs right in here. So those have been added into the copy available for Mayor Crane to sign tonight.
Okay.
So that recess was declared at 9:58 and the meeting reconvened at 10:06.
Perfect. All right, excellent. Motion as amended.
Yeah, to adopt or
As
yeah,
amended, you bet.
to adopt the minutes from the Colts Crossing ASB at the Clarendon.
Minutes.
Minute.
Public hearing minutes.
Okay, public hearing minutes,
They're actually special meeting minutes.
special meeting.
As amended.
Thank you. All in favor?
Good job.
I was waiting for you to give me that. Administrative inquiries. How many do we have? 12? Let's start with the first one. None? We have none. Notice of motion mural, Dr. Landon Memorial Pool. Who brought that forward? I love it.
Brendan and I did. Go ahead, read it up, Brendan.
Yeah.
Oh, sure,
We just read it, right? We don't
Yeah,
discuss
just
it?
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Counselor Gordon and I were talking about the, the mural on the, pool as it had undoubtedly hit Facebook, and I wanted to get ahead of it, so that we could tell our residents that we are indeed, working on something. Because it did, I think, came as a, I know that it came as a surprise to me. I was like, John, did we make a motion on this? But it was a while back.
Yeah.
So Jonathan reminded me, and then I reached out to CEO Davey just to confirm the details of that, and he was nice enough to forward me the motion and put me in touch with Craig. So then we were able to respond on Facebook because we all know that misinformation spreads very quickly. We didn't want that to get out of hand. And so, yeah, it's right here in front of you. Counselor Gordon put this together, which is great. So the mural at the Dr. Landry Memorial Pool was showing its age as it was faded and chipped. Council moved that the mural be painted over with regular exterior paint. The welcoming character of the pool has been decreased with the removal of the mural. And then it is council's desire to replace the former Dr. Landry Memorial Pool mural with a new mural depicting the special culture and character of the facility and its importance to the community. Council supports the involvement of young people as a way to build a strong sense of community, and our community is home to several talented artists and organizations which work with youth and have the potential to lead a project involving community to design a new mural. Then you have the last part there. We'd like council to direct administration to consult with a local artist to develop a preliminary scope of work, determine a cost of painting a new mural on the west wall of the Dr. Landry Memorial Pool, establish costs of design and implementation of the project, explore the opportunity to engage local young people to become involved with painting the mural over the summer months, and submit a report outlining proposed options and costs to council on or before June 7th, if possible.
Thank you. Could we also add to explore funding opportunities, because the federal government has a lot of mural funds that go unchecked. I looked into it when I was probably 6 years ago in the High River. I loved the murals out there, and then there was actually a lady doing them, and she said the federal government gives away money for murals all the time, and then they have special paints that are required, specific paints that go with mural building. So it all goes into one roll, but I'm just thinking if it's an option.
So I have a question.
Meeting, I thought this was just a vote.
If it's a motion, but if we want to take the time, since Why don't-
add one?
would we make a motion to actually consider this motion tonight? It has to be unanimous. So I make a motion that we consider this notice of motion tonight to actually get this moving forward.
Most people just want to keep it blah.
No.
Well, that's what we have to discuss around.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we have to vote on that motion I just made and then we do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Okay, that's unanimous. There you go. So we can action away here now. Okay, so, funding stream. So we know we have some leftover funds from signage.
They might be able to use that. for
Might
the
be
mural.
able to use that. So that was gonna be one of our questions that should be in that investigative work. I'm saying federal as well, but I'll go Cindy.
I have two comments on this.
Okay.
One, we had a resident come up to us saying he's got a bunch of leftover acrylic outdoor paints and he'd love to just redo what was there, not something new, just
Oh.
doing what was there though. So that is an option. It might be something to explore, it might not be. But my only concern on this is that pool has a limited lifespan. I hate to put something on it that we got a bunch of grant money on and spent a lot of money on, and then we decide 6 years our pool goes kaput and we done the whole thing. I don't know if that's a realistic thing. Maybe that is a building that's gonna be there forever, but sometimes I just hate to pay for expensive artwork that
Oh, I think,
kind of feels like some town entrance signs
yeah.
that are turned.
Oh,
like
we
council
got debate here. Okay, good. Let's go, Heather, then Hazel.
And I don't necessarily disagree with Cindy, but I drove through Blairmore the other day, their outdoor pool, and their outdoor pool is about as old as ours, and it's beautiful condition, like painted and top notch, and it's old. So it makes a big difference. My other concern is this honor before June 17th. I'm all in favor for this, but I don't understand the rush. It can be painted, they can do all the work and it can be painted. But it doesn't have to be done this year, as long as we're getting a plan in together to move forward, and then we can budget for it actually too, once we find out what the cost will be, if volunteers will be doing the work, et cetera. So I have a problem with June 17th.
So okay, can I speak to that? That actually was a recommendation from administration. They put that date in there when they amended it. That's from the Nick to get the, is that June 17th, just collecting the data and getting, it's not getting the work done. It's just the data collection. That's all it is.
Yeah, well,
It's
Still.
a deadline she put on herself.
yeah,
Like Brett and I didn't put any dates on it. That was administration came back.
and if she can look for grants now, like, I don't understand what the rush is. We don't need to have it by June 17th. In my opinion, like, give some more time for it. Pool's opening on June the 7th, so, I mean, if we're gonna maybe challenge students to come forward with a design or whatever they decide to do.
Is
Yeah,
that,
volunteers.
is that why the Nick would have picked that?
No,
Which,
no parade weekend.
No, 17th.
Oh, no, I'm saying June 7th would be parade.
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, just, that's my biggest concern.
So, really that mural has stood up really well, because in 2009, it was Friends of the Pool who commissioned Penny Corradine to paint the mural, so 16 years.
Mhm.
And at that time, it cost $3,500.
Yeah, so that's that much.
Yeah, that's 16 years ago too. So my question is, when you're thinking about an artist, would the artist work with youth on both the design and painting of the mural? Or would the youth help with the painting part only?
Well, that goes under consulting with an local artist to develop a preliminary scope of work. So
So you're
they,
asking that they include our youth in there, is that correct?
that would be ideal.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
That was a suggestion from the community.
Solomon, you know.
My next,
Go ahead.
She's actually expressed interest.
Absolutely.
yeah, we have some limits, price wise, value wise, yeah, where you have to throw it out for tender, so you can't just pick one.
Yeah.
But Adam will have the rules on that.
So, oh, you'd like to talk? Sure. Go ahead.
Thanks, your worship, but if we do want to look at grant funding, I would just strike that date and just say as soon as reasonable.
Yeah.
So the idea here was, if council had originally voted on it at the next meeting, we would just bring back a preliminary confirmation. So now we have that more detail. Like Councillor Thompson, Councillor Gordon mentioned, if we just strike that date to as soon as reasonable and look at grant funding, it'll make it a bit more flexible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Alright.
there comes a point where going after grant becomes labor intensive as well. Because then there's the reporting and the blah, 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 and it has to be over a certain threshold and so on and so forth. If you're looking 35 and you call it 6 with inflation, $6,000, get that done, no
We can
problem.
go over 5.
Yeah, so let's get the exploratory work done. And then at least we'll have options coming back at us and we can make a decision. Cause I don't think it's gonna be expensive, but I think it is gonna be awesome. Brendan,
Yeah, and on that note, and I do agree with Heather, Counselor Thompson, that we shouldn't rush, but ideally I'd like it to get started and finished this summer. So I'm just saying that now. I'd hate for it to sit for a year in its current state when we have an opportunity to do it right now. So if there's grants available, like immediately available, great, but usually grants have entry periods and then a weighted timeline, and then, you know, we could be chosen or not chosen too. So we might sit on our hands waiting for an opportunity for a grant, when if we're only talking, you know, between $5,000 and $10,000 for 16 years, you know,
Yeah.
potentially,
Yeah.
you're what, $750, $800 a year to have some great
Yeah.
artwork in the community, and it's done.
absolutely. Let's vote.
Yeah, so we want to change that to strike out the before June 17th. I really don't know why she picked that date because there's gonna be a lot of work through
Yeah,
discovery days and all that kind of stuff.
It's our last meeting before summer break too.
I mean, bring it in July if you want to put it.
We'll have a special meeting in
Date on there,
July,
but-
and we'll have a special in August. So. Yeah, go ahead. Cindy.
I totally got lost. I thought we were saying we're gonna worry about grant money because it's just gonna hold it up months and take a lot of staff time.
Potential.
And that was the only reason you would postpone the date. So if we're not worrying about grant funding, then we can still keep the original date. Is that not? Or are we voting on, should we just vote on the grant funding and make it later for those who want?
We're gonna vote on, is this idea good? And then they can come back with the information on whether the grants are even worth their time. Or here's the
I
rub.
don't think we put the grant funding as a motion.
No, I think that's part of the work. That's part of the work.
I think all we do is amend that fourth bullet to say, submit a report outlining.
Bring it back to council.
option At council as soon as reasonable, and leave it as that.
Yeah.
That would be my
There
suggestion.
you go. There's
Those
no
4 bullets with that amendment.
done. Sound good? Vernon?
Yes.
Adam said he was good, but you know I gotta go to you. You know,
I'm a happy
I
camper.
know how that works. Okay, Hazel, the last one, and then we're gonna vote.
And then you talked about amalgamation or, funding. Could that be used? Or
spent it all, your worship.
even on the signage portion?
So signs weren't covered by amalgamation funds.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, and again, if there's some funds, they'll bring that back. Okay, all in favor?
Thanks,
That's
guys.
carried.
Good job,
Perfect.
Doug.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a good one, guys. No closed meeting, no motions arising. We are adjourned at 7:50.
650.
48, what?
650.
6:48.
Yeah.